Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. We're live broadcasting. I'd like to thank you for joining us, and also like to thank you for those of you who will listen later on. I want to explain a few things for you. Hopefully we'll have a guest come on soon. If not, we'll cut the broadcast, but I just wanted to get some information out to you all. We have been experiencing a lot of trouble with YouTube. I mean, they have been going in on us, and it seems like for every 13 subscribers we get, they delete or unsubscribe 11 or 12 of them. It's just off rip. Also, we got a strike earlier in the year for an interview, a clip of an interview done with Professor Kevin Barrett. And they were saying that we were talking about and advocating violence and hatred against certain groups, which it had nothing of that in the content of what we were talking about. We were actually talking about events like 9/11 and the elections and the bombings in Palestine and Israel and what's going on with China and America and Russia and America and the grand chessboard. We were talking about those things and breaking down the politics and the geopolitics of it. We were not advocating anything. And we got a strike for that. Shortly thereafter, and they told us that we had two, or it could have been a 3-week suspension period. So as that suspension was up, we were putting more content out, and more people were joining, and our views were up, even though they were being suppressed. Our views were up. So we still had to wait to March. I believe it was March 3rd or something like that. February. We had to wait till February or something. All right. So before the strike would be removed, a few days before the strike was removed, we got another strike. And check this out. The strike came off a video that we had already had on YouTube in January. And even though they said that we can't talk about politics or the elections or the integrity of the elections, when all I'm doing is interviewing, what is being done is they are muzzling voices. They are muzzling different opinions. And at the same time trying to say freedom of speech. How is that even possible? How is that possible? So we are still under suspension for YouTube up until I think Monday or Tuesday. And the reason we're able to do this is because this was scheduled right before we got the second strike. Now check it. I was alluding to something a few seconds ago. We got the strike, the second strike, out of nowhere, out of a video that came from earlier in January. And it so happened it came a few days before the first strike was up. So guess what happens? Both when you get the second strike, both the first and the second strike is extended into May. So you don't lose a strike, you gain a strike. And we also had them telling that if we get another strike, they will erase the channel altogether, remove it altogether, which is insanity. 3 strikes and you're out. That's what they're saying. And they won't even go into details with me on how I am violating the YouTube Act. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. I want to lay something on your mind, okay? I'm not advocating violence against any race, religion, creed, color, or gender. I am not advocating war on any nation. I am not making false narratives up. I am not promoting false information. I am not talking about we need to rise up and overthrow this person and that person. None of that. All that I'm doing is interviewing and also doing news clips on what is reality, okay? How is it that my channel, a small channel in the sea of major channels on YouTube, how is it that my channel continues to get this beating by YouTube and the YouTube algorithm when you have channels that talk about sex. They talk about foolishness. Every other word is a curse word. Every other word is an offensive word against race, religion, creed, color, class, and gender. You have 24-hour music channels that don't do nothing but show women shaking their booties and people talking about how many people they shot. And yet these people get millions of views, right? And millions of subscribers. And YouTube lets this go on. But when we're questioning what they're saying to us is don't question with common sense. Don't interview people with a different opinion, different perspective of today. Just go along with mainstream. This is what they're telling us. And this is not a viable position for anyone to have because you cannot have 100% conformity at this moment in society because there's too many variables at play. Now I'm talking to you all. If you see, I have a puffy jacket on right now. That's because I have a pinched nerve in my neck from jujitsu and judo, and it is really bothering me. And I re-aggravated it in Nabar combat a while ago, and it is really bothering me. And I just left the doctor's office, and they gave me medicine, and they gave me other stuff for it. So if you see my head tilting a lot, that is because of that. If you see this puffed up, that is because of that. I can barely, actually, I was supposed to cancel doing this because they told me to just lie down and get rest. But I have to say these things. I have to inform you of what's going on. Also, for those of you who have subscribed to the Red Pill Diaries, also go and subscribe to our sister channel, the Red Pill Journals. The Red Pill Journals, all one word. Okay, that is the alternative channel that we put up just in case YouTube takes down this. And you can also check us out. We have content on Patreon. A lot of it, is free. So if you go there, you don't have to have a paid membership to go there to see the stuff. We do have two memberships, a $3 membership and a $7 membership, especially with all of the exclusive news that we get from around the world. I think that is a drop in a bucket. You can buy a McDonald's Happy Meal or a McDonald's dinner for $5 or $7, right? So you can, if you think of your family and the security of your family, I'm pretty sure they're worth $3 to $7 a month. And it is patreon.com/ all one word, the Red Pill Diaries. The Red Pill Diaries. You can go there. We have a lot of exclusive content coming this week. We have a lot of interviews. We don't just have one or two hard hitters. We have multiple hard hitters that come and that are interviewed. That are interviewed by the Red Pill Diaries. Now, there's a lot of things going on in the news around the world, and I want to get to a lot of this. I really want to, but I felt the need to come to you first and talk to you about the issues that are going on here in America and around the globe, and especially on this YouTube thing. Okay, it seems like we're on the precipice of war. The war hawks are squawking, and you can hear them the world over with the military footprint all around the world. This is unsustainable, especially in a debt-based system. When you are relying on other nations to purchase debt to maintain your livelihood, you know what that is tantamount to? That is tantamount, and I often say this, the drug dealer who has been living the life, right? And other people have been buying his crack. And so it sustained his fast life. And all of a sudden, the people who were buying his drugs to either flip or to smoke stopped. And then you see the living standard of that and the lifestyle standard of that drug dealer starts to decline. And so the drug dealer is so desperate and he wants to escape the reality of what is going on. So he starts smoking his own dope and he's telling the whole world, look at me. I'm still the #1 dope dealer. I'm still living a flashy life. In his mind, he is. But because he is so high, he cannot see that the whole world looks upon him and sees that he is ragged, he's dirty, ashy, right? And is a has-been. This is what the American empire is coming to. It is. She has domestic troubles at home. Now listen, she has, according to some numbers, they say between 700 and 900 military bases. Now, that is what they say. Now, as I said on one of my videos a while ago, and one of my morning shows that I do, according to a congressional hearing, and this, I cannot think of the year it was. Maybe I'll do some research on one of my shows back then, because I had the paperwork and the general who stated this before the committee and all of that. But right now I'm going off the top of my dome. So listen closely. The general stated when you counted, he was asked specifically about America's footprint around the world. And this got by a whole bunch of people, and it didn't get by me. And I reported it immediately after the congressional hearing. And this was in the time Obama was president. I don't know if it was his first term or his second term. But the general who was talking to the congressional committee in the hearing, when you add up all of the logistical sites, the so-called training camps, the what they call spy bases, when you add up the hardware bases and the naval bases and the air bases, the amount is staggering. Let me tell you, there's over, I believe, between 4,000 and 5,000 U.S. outposts around the globe. And when I heard him say that, and then I looked at the transcript, I was blown. I was blown away. If this is not empire, you tell me what empire is. Now, there's an old saying that says, he who defends everything defends nothing. Why? Because he leaves himself exposed at home. And we see the blowback effect of that in American politics. We see it in America's domestic economy. We see it in the rise of inflation. We see it in the mismatching of policies when it comes to poor people and rich people. We see it in the growing wealth divide. We see it in the growing cultural divide. We see it in the growing race divide. We see it in the growing age divide. This has all the ingredients for a revolution at home, a civil insurrection at home. And I'm not promoting this. YouTube, I am not promoting this. I am just looking at it from the inside and from the outside and saying that these are the ingredients that starts revolutions. These are the ingredients that starts civil strife and insurrection and war. All you have to do is look to one of the countries that America has overthrown or left despot. And these are the despot leaders. They leave their countries in such a bad shape. But these are policies, these are reflections of the policies of the West. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. You understand? I'm not going to take up a whole bunch of time with you. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to talk to you for a second. And I'm going to let you know that YouTube is suppressing my channel. You know what's amazing is, it would be something if I had 50,000 subscribers. It would be something if I had 100,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers. But if we check the numbers, I had 100 and some subscribers at that time. Okay, now you multiply that by 11 or 12, because that's how they were unsubscribing and suppressing. So over 1,000 really was supposed to be over 1,000. They've even suppressed my views on my videos, but it's okay. It's okay, because you cannot suppress, keep back, or stop an idea whose time has come. And the idea is truth being presented to the people, regardless to whom or what. Truth will stand on its own, regardless to whom or what. And it's not about 1 million subscribers. It's about getting to the people who really want to know. It's about getting to the people who are really looking at what is going on and really want to survive and really want to escape the madness that is all around America and all around the globe. Truth is the only way to escape that, because you cannot be properly prepared. You cannot be properly ready for what's coming down if you don't have the truth. So you'll hear from me. More videos come out hopefully on the Red Pill Diaries. If not, by Tuesday you'll start seeing more videos on the Red Pill Journals, and you'll see the logo. It's almost similar logos as the Red Pill Diaries with more what is it, Morpheus with his hands out with the red and the blue pill in. You'll see it, and you click on that, you subscribe to it. It's the same. It's the sister network, just in case they erase all of the info here. And also go check us out on Patreon. Listen, in the time of madness, especially when the economy is in a tailspin, the political system is in utter chaos, and the world is headed to war. Don't you want to be on the winning side? The only side that wins. Now listen, liars may win battles, but the truth will overcome and win the war. Don't you want to be on the winning side of history? If so, subscribe to us. Join us. Hear us. Learn us. Be a part of us. Because regardless of what obstacle come in our way, we will overcome it. And on that note, let me say unto you all, I love you, but remember that my God, the God, will always love you best. Peace.